Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rich Bradley, President of the Board of Public Service. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Public Service for November 15th, 2022. This is a public meeting, and we do have one letting today and one hearing today. So we'll start with the letting once Helen Bryant has all the bids ready to go.
Okay,
Can
ready?
I ask who is the number ending in 886? Who's called in ending in 886? One 636 and then 886.
Bids are in, Rich.
Okay, Helen, go ahead.
President
and
Bradley,
read the
before we get
bids.
started, can't say for sure, but I believe that there was going to be a police officer regarding the public hearing named Allie Cooper, and I believe she was going to call in, though I didn't get her phone number.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and read the bids, Helen.
Okay, we have 3 bids for letting 8755, and that is Forest Park Bow Lake Pavilion, Kendall LLC, that's KENDALL LLC. Total bid amount is $667,000, 667,000.00. Integra Incorporated, INTEGRA Inc. Total bid amount is $566,000, excuse me, $820, 566,820.00. And last is Fred Hoff. Total bid amount is $487,000, 487,000.00. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Helen, very much
You're welcome.
appreciated. So, today, board members, we were scheduled to have hearing number 128855, which is a revocation hearing, and that is for to occupy 2800 North Florissant as a convenience store and gas station with cooking, no liquor, 23 hours. I will mention that at approximately 1:06 p.m. today, we received, the board secretary received an email from the conditional use holders attorney, Mr. Bruntrager, and he requested that a continuance be held in this matter, as they were just advised an hour before the public hearing today. And so with that in mind, speaking with legal counsel and the fact that the notification came in late, and the fact that the applicant, should they receive a outcome of this public hearing that would not be favorable to them, have the opportunity to appeal that to the Board of Adjustment. We would like to ask the board to have this public hearing today, unless one of the board members online here is an objection to that. So I'm just going to ask right now. I see Director Williams, Director Maddie, and Director Isom. Do any of you have any objection to holding the public hearing today? I do not.
I do not.
Okay, Director Isom.
I do not.
Okay, Thank you very much. So we're going to go ahead with the public hearing as scheduled today. And again, as I mentioned, should the outcome be something unfavorable in the applicant's mind, they can certainly appeal it to the Board of Adjustment. So I'm going to go ahead and do the hearing. So hearing number 128855-RH is being conducted pursuant to section 26.100.030 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis. The purpose of this hearing is to determine whether to revoke a conditional use permit numbered as 128855 for IBM Realty CO Equus Mouton to occupy 2800 North Florissant as a convenience store and gas station with cooking, no liquor, 23 hours. The parties have been notified of the violations of the conditions of this conditional use permit in writing by certified mail, along with posted notice of today's hearing. The hearing has been convened in order to address issues surrounding conditions number 1, 5, 9, 10, 13, 14, 18, 21, and potentially item number 20 of the conditional use permit, and the conditions in questions are as follows. Condition number 1, the applicant shall maintain a trash removal contract through a private source for regular pickups and keep the entire premise in a clean and orderly appearance at all times. Condition number 5, there shall be no sale of items that can be used or intended for use as drug paraphernalia as defined in ordinance 68404 or its successor ordinances, including but not limited to food scales, glass tubes, disposable lighters with pop-off tops, steel scrubbing pads and screens, rolling papers, ephedrine or pseudoephedrine, diet supplements, sleep aids, bath salts, and or other substitutes for illegal drugs. Condition number 9, there shall be no vending, ATM machines, or payphones on the exterior of the premise at any time. Condition number 10, the applicant must apply for and receive a permit from the City of St. Louis Building Division before posting any signage, including window signs and painted graphics and or lettering. The signage must be professionally prepared and approved by the Office of Zoning Administrator before being installed. Condition 13, all windows and doors must have no boards, grates, materials, mesh, or coverings of any kind. Windows and doors may have proper blinds or curtains on the inside of the windows. Condition number 14, there shall be no cord or rope type LED lighting around the windows or doors. Condition number 18, licensed and bonded security shall be present on site during the hours of operation. Condition number 21, the premise shall not be designated a nuisance property pursuant to ordinance 68535 or its successor ordinances. And condition number 20, no cooking, selling, or seating is permitted on the exterior of the building. The Office of Zoning Administrator has the burden to prove the conditional use permit conditions have not been complied with. After all evidence of the zoning administrator has been presented, the board will ask for additional testimony, if any, in support of the revocation. Then the conditional use holder will be given the opportunity to present evidence. Lastly, the board will hear other testimony in opposition to the revocation, if any. Your testimony is being recorded. When you come forward, please state your name and address and be sworn in. As you testify, please direct your comments to the board and not to those in the audience. Members of the audience are asked to remain silent and not coach the witnesses. During your testimony, members of this board may have questions for you. Following the hearing, the board will proceed with its regular agenda. Following the conclusion of the regular agenda, the board will deliberate, discuss, and vote on the hearing. The board will notify the conditional use holder of its decision by mail in about 2 weeks. The Board of Public Service has in its possession the following documents which are being introduced into evidence. Item 1, a certified copy of the zoning code of the city of St. Louis. Item 2, the conditional use permit numbered as 128855 issued for IBM Realty LLC, CO Elis Muton to occupy 2800 North Florissant as a convenience store and gas station with cooking, no liquor, 23 hours. Item 3, a memorandum dated October 11th, 2022 from the zoning plan examiner to the zoning administrator stating that on October 11th, 2022, the zoning inspector found violations of conditions number 1, 5, 9, 10, 13, 14, 18, 21, and potentially 20 of the conditional use permit. This memo includes photographs of the noted violations. Item 4, email correspondence from Public Safety's executive assistant to the zoning administrator dated September 26, 2022, requesting a copy of the conditional use permit and mentioning concerns with 2800 Florissant. Item 5, responsive correspondence from the zoning administrator to the Public Safety executive assistant dated September 27th, 2022, concerning the same and attaching a copy of the conditional use permit. Item 6, a letter dated October 24th, 2022, sent to IBM Realty LLC, CO Elis Muton at 2800 North Florissant Avenue from the board secretary, warning of the violations of conditions 1, 5, 9, 10, 13, 14, 18, 21, and potentially 20 of the permit that were found upon a recent site inspection and providing notice for today's hearing. Item 7, a letter dated October 24th, 2022, sent to IBM Realty LLC, 2800 North Florissant Avenue, from the board secretary, warning of violations of conditions numbers 1, 5, 9, 10, 13, 14, 18, 21, and potentially 20 of the permit that were found upon a recent site inspection and providing notice for today's hearing. Item number 8, a letter dated October 24th, 2022, sent to Elis Muton, 761 Rock Ridge Drive, Manchester, Missouri, 63021, from the board secretary, warning of the violations of conditions number 1, 5, 9, 10, 13, 14, 18, 21, and potentially 20 of the permit that were found upon a recent site inspection and providing notice for today's hearing. Item number 9, a letter dated October 24th, 2022 to Sterling Moody at 12932 Dunstone Drive, Florissant, Missouri, 63033, from the board secretary, warning of the violations of conditions number 1, 5, 9, 10, 13, 14, 18, 21, and potentially 20 of the permit that were found upon a recent site inspection and providing notice for today's hearing. And finally, item 10, a copy of the public notice posted for today's hearing. At this time, the board asks a representative of the Office of Zoning Administrator to please come forward and be sworn in.
Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Good afternoon, board. Dylan Mosier, acting zoning inspector, zoning plan examiner, City Hall, room 400. As President Bradley just discussed, I did investigation both this morning. Prior to that, I did an investigation on October 11th. I found the 8 violations that President Bradley noted. That's 1, 5, 9, 10, 13, 14, 18, 21. And then I did make a note about kind of the potentiality of violation of condition number 20. So I was on site again this morning. I was on site for probably about 30 minutes. I arrived approximately 8:30 and left at approximately 9 o'clock. And I found ostensibly no change. Those same conditions were all still in violation. Again, it's condition number 1, 5, 9, 10, 13, 14, 18, 21. And then still the potential for condition number 20 to be in violation. So I'll kind of run through very quickly sort of what I found. Condition number 1 was regarding sort of keeping the premises clean and orderly. There's still a variety of crates and miscellaneous items stacked, stored kind of throughout, unkempt throughout the parking lots. Condition number 5 is regarding the sale of items that could be used as drug paraphernalia or supplemental to the use of drugs. I found hemp rolling papers today and a hookah style water pipe for sale behind the counter. There's still an ATM on the site. That was a violation of condition number 9. There's still signage on the building that does not have any permits applied for. That's a violation of condition number 10. Condition number 13 is regarding having windows and doors that are not being obstructed. And there's still inside the store, there is a cell phone rack area. That rack covers one of the windows. So it acts as a covering, the same that, a decal on the glass or something like that. You can't really see into the store because of that. That's documented in a photo. Condition number 14, there's still LED rope lighting framing the front entry door and windows. Condition number 18 is regarding having security on site. Both today and when I was on site on October 11th, I always go and ask one of the clerks. I introduce myself, let them know why I'm on site, and I asked if they had security on site. Both on the 11th of October and then again today, I was actually told by the working clerk that they do have security. The security guard is taking their child to school is the specific excuse that I was given as to why there's no security guard on site. But there was no security on site this morning or on October 11th. And then with condition number 21, I checked again this morning. The business is still on the nuisance property list. So that is still the case. I checked this morning. About my additional note, I did not cite them for condition number 20, which is regarding there being no cooking, seating, selling, being on the exterior of the building. But as you'll see again, as was the case last month, there are 2 very large barbecue grills. So, I didn't see anyone cooking, but I don't know what else you would do with a grill. If they're not cooking, I would also note that, their occupancy permit doesn't allow for the outside storage of goods or barbecue grills or anything. So, at the very least, this is a violation of their occupancy permit if it isn't an explicit violation of their conditional use permit, if that makes sense. But yeah, no change is sort of is the summation of it. If anybody has any questions for me, I'm all ears.
Dylan, thank you for your report. And again, just to be very clear, as I always do, your report as I understand it is, there are no changes in any of the violations that were noted. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, great. And at this point in time, I'm going to open the floor up for questions from any of the other board directors for the zoning inspector. Okay. Any questions for Dylan Mosier? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
At this point in time, I will ask if there's anyone else present who wishes to testify the noted conditions have not been complied with and support the revocation. Please step forward, come forward and be sworn in.
Hi, I'm Officer Cooper. I'm with District 4 Problem Properties.
Can you please hold your hand up and be sworn in by the secretary?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Great. Please state your name and continue.
I'm Police Officer Allie Cooper with District 4 Problem Properties. So I've been monitoring this property for a little over a year now, whenever I got transferred into this unit. It has been under a nuisance property since 2020, and it has been renewed since then. We renew it once a year, and we always have meetings with the owners, discussing what they can do to reduce the calls for service or, nuisance related problems. I have suggested numerous times to the owner or the manager, whoever was in on those meetings, that they need to get security. It's important for them to have security on site, to maintain, the safety of the employees, the customers, the neighborhood, police officers. Every time I made a suggestion, I kind of just got pushed aside or some kind of excuse why they can't have security. Eventually they did get security, but it was a little too late. If they do have security on site, it's not every day. They don't have a schedule where they have enough people to actually work the job. And I do know the security company they did hire. He is a police sergeant, and I have spoken to him directly multiple times, and he's flat out said people don't want to work security for that business because it is so dangerous up there. So like I said, I have made suggestions. It's just been a little too late at this point. There's been several homicide shootings. Recently there was a police shooting about a month ago on their property. There's been 2 more reports since then. I believe one of the employees was involved in an assault with a customer. And then there was our intel officers did an undercover investigation there to people selling drugs on the premise. Ongoing investigations, there's drugs, guns. So yeah, so I can attest that it's a nuisance property and it's been a problem, and they refuse to listen to any of my suggestions.
Okay, thank you so much for your testimony. Are there any questions from any of our board directors for our police officer? Okay, seeing no questions, thank you very much. I will ask if there is anyone else present who wishes to testify the noted conditions have not been complied with or are in support of this revocation. Please come forward and be sworn in. Okay, seeing none, at this point, the board asks the conditional use permit holder to please come forward and be sworn in. So I don't see our conditional use permit holder here, but I believe his attorney's present. Are you planning to speak for him today?
I wasn't, because I had hoped that there was going to be a continuance and was told that they usually are granted continuances. I told my client not to be here because of that. I will speak on his behalf and again reiterate our request for a continuance, and will be placed under oath to do so.
Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, please state your name and continue, sir.
My name is Jonathan Bruntrager. I work with Bruntrager and Billings. Charles H. Billings is actually the typical attorney for this. Due to our receiving late notice at approximately 12:15 today of the hearing, we were not prepared to proceed today. We would again like to request a continuance of this matter. We don't have any of the records that were read into the record at this time in front of us. And so we would like to reiterate our request for a continuance. Sorry.
Thank you. The conversation with the board members, I think you heard before we began the hearing today. I asked the board members present if anyone had any objection to having this public hearing today, but with respect to the fact that we received your request for a continuance at 1:06 p.m. today in writing, and no one objected to it. So at this point in time, we are doing the hearing. As I mentioned earlier as well, if there becomes an outcome that you or the client are not satisfied with, there is an appeal option with the Board of Adjustment. So we're going to go ahead and finish our hearing today. If you would like to speak and respond to any of the conditions that are in question or anything off for your client, you are more than welcome to do so at this time.
Okay, I can't speak to any of the evidence because again, I don't have any of it in front of me. In regards to the testimony from the police officer, everything that she said, I believe, because that's a problem ongoing with the city of St. Louis. If city of St. Louis police officers don't want to go into an area of the city to work secondary, where they're often paid more than they are as police officers, I don't understand why that's imputed upon my clients. They don't control the people that live or work around there or hang out around there. And so I think that that's improper to bring in information like that. As far as the homicide that goes, that occurred there a few months ago, they cooperated with police and in fact were instrumental in turning over video of the incident, as well as with the police shooting that occurred there. They are doing everything within their power to try and ensure a safe area. But again, if they can't hire people to work there as security, it shouldn't be imputed upon them. It's more of a condemning of the area of the city itself. Again, as far as the rest of the evidence goes, I have nothing. Mr. Mosier, I assume was there earlier today. I can't refute that in any other way. I don't know which of the employees or owners that he spoke to, but at this point in time, we'll have to rely upon an appeal based upon the fact that we have none of this information in front of us.
Thank you for your testimony. At this time, I'm going to ask if any of the board members have any questions for the representative for our conditional use permit holder. Okay, seeing no questions, thank you for your time. At this point in time, I would ask if there's anyone present opposing this revocation that wishes to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. Okay, seeing none, the matter concerning hearing number 128855-RH is now closed and submitted. The board will now proceed with its regular agenda. Can you please call the roll?
Director Davis,
Present.
Director Hayes, Director Isom,
Present.
Director Scoggin, Director Scobie, Director Williams, President Bradley.
Present, we have a quorum. I will call the meeting to order.
President, recommendation that approval be given as follows. Supplemental agreement number 4 to PSA number 1212. Construction supervision for the reconstruction of taxiway K and taxiway S and runway 12L-30R reconstruction, Street, St. Louis Lambert International Airport. This supplemental agreement is amended to modify the scope of work and is authorized by ordinance number 70410. Amendment number 3 to contract number 74879 for fire protection system service, inspection, testing, maintenance, repair, and certification. Contract with Engineered Fire Protection Incorporated. This amendment hereby renews the existing contract for an additional 1-year period. The contract termination date is respectively amended to September 29th, 2023. Amendment number 1 to contract number 76838 for fire extinguisher service contract with Procon Fires and Safety LLC. This amendment also hereby increases the contract maximum not to exceed amount from $120,000 to $200,000 to accommodate the additional facility served, added with the first amendment for another year, and hereby extends the contract for an additional 1-year period. The contract termination date is respectively amended to May 31st, 2023. From the Office of Special Events, request for the following to be approved, subject to certain conditions. Ameren Holiday Festival of Lights at Keener Plaza on November 19th, 2022, from 12:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Setup will be on November 19th, 2022 at 8 a.m. and tear down will be at 11:30 p.m. Amsterdam Tavern World Cup viewing parties at Morgan Ford between Juniata and Connecticut on November 25th, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on December 18th, 2022, from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. St. Louis Hills Christmas lighting ceremony at Francis Park on November 27th, 2022, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Setup will be on November 27th, 2022 at 4 p.m. and tear down will be at 9:30 p.m. Directors of Human Services, Public Utilities and Streets. Application number 131303, consolidation of lots 1 and 2 of 40 Grand was recorded in plat book 040-12022, page 38 in city block 2196. Directors of Public Utilities and Streets. Joint recommendation that 6 applications from AT&T be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 000-0086, 2900 Shuttle Avenue. Application number 000-0087, 1808 Washington Avenue. Application number 000-0088, 2927 South Kings Highway Boulevard. Application number 000-0089, 701 Convention Plaza. Application number 000-0090, 100 Victor Street. Application number 000-0098, 1717 Olive Street. Joint recommendation that 3 applications from Charter Communications be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 000-0094, 4321 Simple Avenue. Application number 000-0100, 7350 Gravois Avenue. Application number 000-0102, 2920 Merrimack Street. Joint recommendation that 1 application from Everstream Solutions LLC be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 000-0095, 2700 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. Director of Streets. Recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 131256. Request from Great Rivers Environmental Law Center to encroach with 16 ozone devices on city light poles at various locations in the Dutchtown neighborhood. Application number 131257. Request from Great Rivers Environmental Law Center to encroach with 2 ozone devices on city poles at 13th Street and Clinton Avenue and at Blair Avenue and Sullivan Avenue. Plan leaves, Director Scobie will be on a plan leave today.
Thank you very much. I'd like to start off and handle hearing number 128855, 2800 North Florissant Convenience Store Gas Station, cooking no liquor, 23 hours. We heard from the zoning inspector that after his investigation this morning, that all of the conditions in violation were still in violation and there was no change from what had previously been reported. We heard from a representative of the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department concerning this being a nuisance property and some of the issues that she noted, along with discussing with the conditional use permit holder about security and other items happening at that premise. We heard from the conditional use permit holders representative attorney again about requesting a continuance for the hearing today and making a few comments about refuting some of the commentary from the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department officer. And there was no one in opposition to the revocation. And just a couple comments up front. If you noted, when I went through the list of documentation for today's hearing, there were extensive letters and postings sent out pertaining to this hearing. And so I would find it very difficult, in my personal opinion, to believe that someone would not know about this until 1 p.m. today. And if they did, it would appear to me that it was the conditional use permit holder responsibility to notify their attorney of this hearing. Somewhere along the line, something doesn't make sense with that with me, but I'll be more than glad to open up the floor for commentary from the other board directors. Anybody have any comments that you would like to discuss on this? Director Isom in particular, is there anything you might like to address on this, as this is a public, it's on the nuisance property list?
No, I don't have anything to add to the record or the testimony that the police officer has given.
Great. So at this time, since there's no further conversation, I'd be open to take a motion. Our options are, we can revoke the conditional use permit. If we revoke the conditional use permit, the holder has the opportunity to go back and appeal that with the Board of Adjustment, as I said in the hearing. We can give them time to rectify the conditions, which historically what we've always done is if a property owner, conditional use permit holder, I should say, has made great strides to work with our zoning administrator's office to try to rectify things. We will give them some time to rectify. In this case, nothing has changed. I believe the only other option we would have is to dismiss this hearing without prejudice. And so I will ask for a motion at this time.
How much time do you typically give if we give them time to work with?
Say one more time, doctor, please.
How much time do you usually give them if we, or in the past, if we give them time to work with your office?
So if they were going to work with, it would be the zoning administrator, and that's under Director of Public Safety. And typically what we give them is 30 days to rectify conditions. We have one up to 60 days recently because we have the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday here. But again, as you go through these conditions and you see extensive conditions that are not complied with, and this is a nuisance property, I would, again, personal opinion, I would think it'd be very difficult to resolve that in 30 to 60 days.
Yeah, I would make a motion to revoke their conditional use permit.
Okay.
I would second that.
Thank you, directors. I have a motion to revoke and a second. Can you call, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, can you call the roll, please?
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes, Director Isom,
Aye.
Director Scoggin, Director Scobie, Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, revoked. Thank you. I'd like to turn your attention to our meeting minutes from November 8th, 2022. Are there any questions or comments on those meeting minutes as submitted? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve, Davis.
Second, Isom.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes, Director Isom,
Aye.
Director Scoggin, Director Scobie, Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, the minutes are approved. Today's agenda, questions or comments on our agenda today? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion
Motion
to
to
approve
approve.
the agenda.
And I second,
Thank-
Director,
Thank you. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Davis,
aye.
Director Hayes, Director Isom,
Aye.
Director Scoggin, Director Scobie, Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, today's meeting agenda is approved. Before we adjourn, are there any questions or comments from any of our board directors? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to,
adjourn.
second,
Thank you. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye.